Before the new trilogy came about, which I think people are now dubbing it the Disney Star Wars Trilogy, which I think is appropriate. Star Wars was everything to me. It dominated my childhood. It was captivating. The lore, the universe itself, the characters, how the Force worked, it was captivating. Yeah, it had its flaws, like the prequels, which I now understand, now rewatching it. Still, it was amazing. And then even after the original films ended, the universe just kept going. Through comics, through games, Knights of the Old Republic, made by BioWare, one of the best Star Wars games I think I ever played. Battlefront, Knights of the Old Republic 2, which I think is amazing as well. Star Wars Starfighter on the PS2, Jedi Starfighter, everything. The universe just kept building, even like the books. Star Wars Revan still has to be my favorite because I love the character of Revan so much. It was everything to me. And then when they said that that Star Wars was coming back and be bought by Disney, everyone was excited, including me. I'm thinking, yeah, Star Wars is coming back, and then Disney is taking control of it, which I thought was a great fit. Star Wars Disney is a great fit. J.J. Abrams is directing it. He was a fan. And Kathleen Kennedy worked side by side with George Lucas. It's in good hands. I can't wait to see what the universe is like, because they had to take it into the future because the actors are now older. So the universe will progress more. And everyone's, including me, was excited. Because we just couldn't wait what the state of the universe it is now. Because everyone was just thinking, logically, obviously, since it's going to take many years into the future, the galaxy itself is different. So we just couldn't be back to be reintroduced into the New Republic. What's that going to be like? Luke is now older. He should have established numerous Jedi temples by now. He's like the granddaddy, the grand master of all Jedis in his universe right now, in this galaxy. Right now. So he's going to be like this uber powerful guy. Because I remember playing, what was it? Star Wars Jedi Academy, which I don't think it's not canon, obviously, now, thanks to Disney Star Wars. But even when he's young, he established his temple, and he's like this super wise guy, and he changed some things. If I remember right, Jedi's allowed to marry. He's trying to fix the old problems of the Lost Jedi Order. And I was just, me and my friends were just talking hours about before the new Disney Star Wars trilogy, like the state of the universe that we're gonna see. And then The Force Awakens dropped. And honestly, when The Force Awakens dropped, I knew then that Star Wars was gonna be in trouble. The Force Awakens is the foundation of the new trilogy. So when I saw The Force Awakens, I thought, holy crap. This is bad. This is bad. I thought I was going crazy at one point because I thought I was the only person who hated The Force Awakens. Everyone seemed to love it. Everyone seemed to have that, yeah, it's flawed, but it's great. It's a strong foundation, which I thought to myself, no, it's not. The direction that they went with The Force Awakens is illogical. And how they set up The Force Awakens, the story beats that went with this Force Awakens, just did not make sense. It just did not make sense. When I watched The Force Awakens, I knew from the get-go that the foundation was terrible. If you're going to reintroduce us back into this universe, then show us from the start the state of the galaxy, the New Republic. How powerful is it? Show us Coruscant. Show us them rebuilding. How many planets are under it? Show us Luke. Or at this point, Master Luke, the granddaddy of all Jedi at this point. How many temples did he establish? At this point, he should establish like 2 or 3 at least. Like, what rules did he change in the Jedi Order? Princess Leia or Queen Leia, how has she been doing? Han Solo. All these characters. Show us what they've been going through, what progress they made. And then you can interweave the characters like Finn, Poe, and Rey. But instead it just ignore that, and they just went straight in these small pocket locations. Like Kylo Ren doing his thing, Rey's doing her thing, Finn, Poe. It's like they didn't just sit down and be like, J.J. Abrams, Kathleen Kennedy, they didn't just sit down and be like, okay, many years into the future, what's the galaxy like? What the old characters doing? Let us show this, and then interweave new characters. It's like, no, they just went straight in and just ignored them, and they just brought it up like in the middle or last act of the film. It was flawed. It wasn't organic. It was very flawed. And that was a huge red flag for me. That was one pet peeve I had with Force Awakens. And then one of the huge pet peeves that I had, the Death Star. It made like a huge planet-like Death Star. Apparently, if I remember right, even bigger than the last one, which makes no sense. How the hell did the remnants of the Empire suddenly create this huge Death Star of thin air? It just did not make sense. Didn't make sense. And I really hated how the rest of the galaxy treated the old war. What I mean by that is this. When Finn and Rey met Han Solo, at this point he should have been famous because what he did in the Lost War. And the way they explained it was like, the way they talked about it, how Finn and Rey talked about the last war with the Empire. It's like this mythical story that they're not sure it happened, if that makes sense. Because how they said it's like, was it true? Like, did everything that was told, was it true? And then Han was like, yes, it was true, all of it. And it just irked me, and I was just like, that's like me. That's like me going to a World War I vet and be like, is it true? Was the stories true? Did it actually happen? And then the World War I vet just turns around and be like, of course it happened. What are you talking about? What's wrong with you? It's stuff like that. And do not get me started on what they actually did with these characters. Rey, Finn, Poe. Like, you have the Stormtrooper Finn who defected. You could do so many cool stories with that, but instead they just Disney-fied it. And his explanation was, it was the right thing to do. And I was just like, really? Really? And then the Death Star was just sized the planet. Don't get me started on it. It was bad. When I saw the Foundation, I'm like, this is bad. Just can't get any worse than this. Oh boy, was I wrong. Oh boy, was I wrong. The Last Jedi literally broke everything. It broke the rules. It broke the characters. Everything. Everything. Legacy characters died. Admiral Akbar, you could do so much things with him. He's one of the great tactician minds. You could do so many things with him. But no, he died. Leia flying through space. That's when I knew. That's when I knew. When The Lost Jedi came out, that's when I knew they have absolutely no clue in what they're doing. Kathleen Kennedy, the woman in charge, has no clue what she was doing. She just read... I don't think she read the script. It's like Rian Johnson. Yeah, you can do whatever the hell you want. It doesn't matter if he breaks everything or made the Force Awakens meaningless. You can do whatever you want. Luke Skywalker's character was twisted, even though in the Force Awakens he was like, hey, listen, if you have a problem, I'm here. Here's the map of where I am. Come and find me. And then they went to him and he's like, you know what? No, I just came in to die. It was terrible. Admiral Holdo, don't get me started on her. The light speed attack, which was cool, but it literally breaks everything. And now people are saying, okay, then why didn't you just do that in the last war? Why didn't you just put a droid there and just kamikaze everything? It was bad. The casino planet. And before I get into Lost Jedi, one of the things that also irked me about The Force Awakens, that one of the huge red flags of The Force Awakens. For example, the Resistance. Why are they still called the Resistance after all this time? Why? Why are they resisting? They're the new superpower. The Republic is now a new superpower. What are you resisting? And and they still call themselves the Resistance. Logic dictates the First Order are the new Resistance. They're resisting a new superpower. So why are you resisting? It was just, they did not think this through, and I don't think they even cared. They just did not think this through. And Leia, why is she not called Queen Leia at this point? You could make so much stories of this. Like Alderaan was destroyed, but pockets of people exist in different planets. After Alderaan was destroyed, Leia just gathered all the survivors and this new planet under the New Republic, and they're now rebuilding, and then the population is growing steadily, and she's now Queen Leia. You could do so many things with that, but no, they just didn't care. But The Lost Jedi, yeah, like I said, the casino planet, the Resistance just completely collapsed, and the New Republic just I'm like, are you serious? After the First Order unveiled their super weapon and destroyed multiple planets, they should just band it together and be like, no, the New Republic was under the foothills of the Empire for a long time. They're like, no, we will unite and fight. But no, they just gave up. It was just, that was a cringeworthy scene. Oh yeah, and the casino planet. The casino planet, they were talking about, look how they treat the animals, we need to set them free, but they left all the kid slaves behind. It's just like, they just did not care about the slaves at all, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? And Rose Tico, one of the worst characters in existence, and people say she's worse than Jar. I think, for me personally, I think, yeah, she is worse than Jar Jar Binks. And the whole... I think here's why. Here's why I hate The Lost Jedi so much. Because instead of progressing the universe, it regressed and went back to ground zero. It went back all the way to the New Hope. Like, all the progress they made was diminished. And it broke my heart. I was like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? And I was just like, what the hell? And then the Rise of Skywalker came. Palpatine. Oh my god. And then J.J. Abrams was just like, no. It was the idea from the start to bring back Palpatine back. BS. Complete BS. And then Rey's Force heals? How they handled Force heals was childish and insulting. I'm not saying Force heals can exist. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it's how you implement it. You could just added a rule that Force heals does exist, but you have to be a really, really skilled Force user and many years of practice. I'm just pulling this out thin air. If it was me, I would have just said, Force heals is possible, but you need to be an experienced Force user to manipulate the midi-chlorians, to repair cells, and all that. It would take huge concentration, and you have to be skilled with the Force, because if you mess up, there could have been unforeseen consequences. You could have just done that. But no, it was just like, I just added my Force into them and they healed. I'm like, are you serious? Which caused even more problems. And you could have been like, so why didn't Qui-Gon Jinn do this? Why didn't Master Yoda teach this to his disciple? It followed the same mistake as The Last Jedi. It completely broke everything. And J.J. Abrams, you could tell that he was trying to repair stuff in The Lost Jedi, but he also made the same mistakes as The Lost Jedi. And they made Rey this godlike person. And Rey's true heritage, like, he's the granddaughter of Palpatine, which opened so many doors, and it was just so many unanswered questions. Like, so what about the offspring of Palpatine? You're like, that doesn't matter. You matter. I'm like, no. The offspring of Palpatine, that matters. But they didn't even delve into it, and it was just... And Palpatine was a clone, and Snoke was a clone. It was terrible. And the redeeming aspect with Kylo Ren, he killed so many people. But then one good act, and he's now one with the Force, which is Jesus Christ. And then the insulting part was Rey took Luke Skywalker's name. He's like, I'm now Rey Skywalker, which is, in my opinion, was the worst insult she could do. Because if you look at this as a whole, you can't continue anything from this. The Skywalker line is dead. Every character is dead. And it didn't, and it wasn't this great merger that Kathleen Kennedy promised, where she's like, we need to honor these characters. We need to do this. We need to do this. We need to be respectful. But it wasn't. It felt like a hostile takeover because all the old legacy characters just died. They didn't have any offsprings of their own. It just died. It was just gone. And it was really sad to see. And then they were like, this is the end of the Skywalker Trilogy. What Skywalker Trilogy? What Skywalker Trilogy? It was insulting. And now it's like, you're at this point where it's just like, who's to blame for all this? Everyone's pointing the fingers at Kathleen Kennedy. Everyone's pointing the fingers at J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson. But in my opinion, I think the person that should take the majority of the blame is George Lucas. I know people are defending George Lucas or saying, he was betrayed. But let's be honest. Bob Iger was completely forward. He was like, look, because I remember when George Lucas was writing the script for the new films. And he's like, listen, there is no guarantee that I would use your script and carry it forward. That should have been a huge red flag for George Lucas. And he was just like, you know what, let's hold off the deal. And my boy's like, no, but he just sold off. And now he's upset with what they did. But I'm like, dude, this is your fault. This whole bastardization of these characters that we love so much was because of you, because you sold it off. Like, we could point blames at these guys, and blame should be placed on them. But the first person and we need to blame first is George Lucas, because he's the one who sold it off. And Bob Guy was like, we don't need to use the script that you gave us. But he's like, oh, okay, that's fine. And he's like, but we had this promise. He's like, come on, dude, what are you? Are you 12? What do you think was going to happen? And so it's like, and it's really depressing because these huge stories, these characters that we so loved after all these years just kaput. They just died unceremoniously. There's no hope. It's really depressing. And I don't see any way forward from this. And as a guy who hated all these new Disney Star Wars trailers, the only one thing that I liked coming out of this was Rogue One and The Mandalorian, which is okay. I like The Mandalorian, but it's, no matter how much I love The Mandalorian, these new Disney films, they're the end game. And it's no matter how much I like it, it will always just go back to these to the sequel trilogies, the Disney Star Wars trilogies. And it's depressing, man. It really is. And you're just like in this zone where it's like, look, at this point I just need to cut off Star Wars. I just need to let it go, because it's no matter how, because it is coming back, even though they put in a back burner, it is coming back. And I'm just like, I'm just done. The High Republic, I don't care what they do with the High Republic. The fact that they call it the High Republic it's a problem in itself. And you're just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done having my heart broken. It's just, and that's the only thing you can do. Star Wars is dead. Is completely dead. And there's nothing you could do about it. I guess that's what breaks my heart even more. So many possibilities, man. So many opportunities, and they just ruined it. It just ruined it. So I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop here before I get even more depressed. Yeah, to me, Star Wars is gone. It's gone. It's dead. I just bury it. I need to save my heart from this, because it's gone. It's gone. And this depressing thing is there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing. Ah, man, it was fun while it lasted, I guess.